Alright guys, so today we're going to be going over all of the $1 million vehicles inside of Roblox Jailbreak, and we're going to be seeing which ones are actually worth your money. And obviously there are actually a few $1 million vehicles that aren't in the actual dealership here, so we will have to go around the map a little bit. But yeah, let's not waste any more time and let's get straight into this, starting with the drone here. So the drone has a top speed of about 140 miles per hour, depending on if you're going up or down. The drone is also a hover car, which means that it doesn't go as high as a helicopter, but it still goes pretty high up. The drone also has a max health of about 50, which obviously isn't the best in the game, but you gotta keep in mind it is an aerial vehicle, so that's just for balancing reasons. The drone also seats 2 people, including the driver, and it's not spawnable, and that's obviously just because it's a flying vehicle, and no flying vehicles in this game can be spawned besides the Celsior and the crew capsule. And even then, those are limited vehicles, and because they're limited and they're spawnable, they aren't really the best in the game. So yeah, overall the drone is a really good vehicle to use. It's, as I said, not the best in the entire game. There are better options, but if you're looking to grind quickly with multiple people, then it's definitely a good option for you. But something I should probably say here is if you get annoyed really easily, then I probably wouldn't recommend this vehicle for you, because yeah, if you just look at the propellers here, the rings are kind of floating. I don't really understand how these rings are here keeping the propellers in place, but I guess that's just jailbreak logic. Oh yeah, not to mention, but your character doesn't really even put their hands on the steering wheel, so that's just another thing to add to that list of things that might be annoying. But yeah, that's the drone. On to the next vehicle now, and that is the Volt Bike, the good old Volt Bike. Everyone hates it and everyone loves it at the same time. So I'm just going to say this here right away, if you're a grinder in a private server, you just like grinding away in private servers by yourself, then the Volt Bike is definitely going to be the best vehicle for you. It's got the best acceleration in the game, and it also goes about 215 miles per hour at max, which is pretty good for grinding. But if you're in a public server, I wouldn't really recommend this for you because obviously it's really hard to turn. If you're trying to turn extremely quickly, that's really stiff, and I'm not too sure why. And another big annoyance with the Volt Bike here is it literally can't go over hills at all unless you're going extremely quickly. You guys could see here, unless I got some decent speed, I just can't go over any of these hills at all. The braking on the Volt Bike is also really bad as well because it takes an extremely long amount of time for it to actually reach zero and stop completely. So yeah, unless you're a grinder in a private server just not doing anything else but grinding, then the Volt Bike is probably not going to be a good option for you. Because obviously if you're grinding in a private server, off-roading and braking and all of that stuff don't really matter, but in public servers those things are probably going to be a really helpful thing. And yeah, the Volt Bike not really being able to do those things isn't that good, so yeah, unless you're a grinder, then I wouldn't recommend getting this at all, and I'd probably just recommend skipping it, and unless you're trying to get every item in the game, then it's just not worth your money. And actually, another quick thing that I should probably say about the Volt Bike here is Asimo has actually been talking about revamping it or removing it from the game on Twitter quite a bit now. Obviously, nothing is confirmed yet, but since he's been talking about it, it might happen sometime soon. So yeah, don't go telling people that it's going to get removed or revamped anytime soon because, as I said, that's not confirmed yet, but it has been, brought up quite a few times now, so it might happen in the near future. We'll just have to see. And actually, if you guys want a few extra reasons not to buy the Volt Bike, it only has 50 health, so it's really weak, and yeah, it's probably not going to be worth your money. So yeah, just saying. Anyways, on to the next cars here. We got the monster truck and the trailblazer. So if I'm going to be honest here, these are pretty much the exact same vehicles now, obviously besides the model and a few extra things. So I'm just going to give you guys a brief summary on both of the vehicles since, as I said, they're pretty much the exact same thing. So both the monster truck and the trailblazer both have about 140 health, which is really good. Top speed wise, the trailblazer is obviously a little bit faster. It's literally in the name. Why would it be called the trailblazer? It's meant to be fast. But then to make up for the lower top speed, the monster truck, obviously since it's a monster truck, it does have a little bit better off-roading, so that's probably what it's going to be the best at. The acceleration on the trailblazer is a little bit better than the monster trucks as well, so that's something the trailblazer has over the monster truck. But then to make up for that, the monster truck does have a few extra seats. It has about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 seats, including the driver's seat. And then you guys can see here, the Trailblazer only has 2 seats. So yeah, the monster truck is going to be really good if you're carrying around big crews. So yeah, honestly, the Trailblazer and the monster truck, my Trailblazer just disappeared, okay, but yeah, anyways, as I was saying, they're pretty much the exact same vehicles, they just have a few different things that they're better at. So it just mostly depends what you're looking for. If you want more seating capacity stuff and you don't really care about the stats, the monster truck will probably be better for you. But if you're looking for higher top speed and stuff, then the Trailblazer will probably be better. But if you guys want me to choose one for you, I'd probably go with the Trailblazer because I prefer stats over seating capacity and stuff. But yeah, as I said, it's just kind of what you prefer. But now let's go ahead and move on to the Black Hawk Army helicopter over here at the top of the $1 million dealership. The Black Hawk has a top speed of about 130 miles per hour, which is really good. And the main feature that the Army heli is known for is its missiles. You guys can see here, if I just go ahead and aim my mouse here, you guys could see missiles go wherever my mouse is pointed at. Unfortunately, they don't do as much damage as something like the tank missiles or the jet missiles, but they're still pretty good if you just need to quickly take down a police officer on low health. The Army heli here could also see a total of 8 people, 6 at the back and 2 in the front, including the driver's seat. And if you're looking to do the cargo ship, then that's possible with the Army heli here as well, because this does have a rope, obviously, because it's a helicopter. And that also means that you could pick up other people with it, so I guess that technically counts as a 9th seat. So yeah, this thing could hold a total of 9 people, which is very good. And another thing I should probably mention here about the Army heli is it doesn't actually have too much health, obviously because of balancing reasons, just like the drone. I believe it has a max health of about 80, so it's still pretty good, but it's not really the best in the entire game. But even with that flaw, I'd probably say that the Black Hawk here is one of the best vehicles in the entire game. It's good for grinding, and it's good for just playing in public servers normally. It has so many uses, you know, if someone's camping the museum or something, just pull out the missiles like that. It's extremely easy to use. So yeah, if you guys have $1 million in Jailbreak and you're looking for a helicopter, then I'd definitely recommend getting this because it's extremely useful for pretty much everything. Now for our next $1 million vehicle, now we have left the $1 million dealership and we're here at the military base. It's the tank. Now the tank here is obviously the vehicle with the most amount of HP in the entire game, obviously because it's a freaking tank, dude. But now the top speed here obviously isn't going to be the best in the entire game because, as I said, this is literally a tank. It's not going to be a supercar. But something that is really useful about the tank is it's actually really good at off-roading, like surprisingly good at off-roading. It's really good. You guys can see here the tank is literally holding on to the side of the mountain now, and if I want, I could literally go into the... Okay, maybe I can't get out. Okay, you know what? This was a bad idea. I shouldn't have done this. Anyways, besides all of those normal stats, the tank damage is actually really good. The rockets do about 70 damage, which is really good. So if you're using the tank in like a battle or something, then it will definitely be extremely useful. Not only that though, but it also seats 4 people. So for being a tank, you know, this thing is actually really good. Like you'd expect this to be like the worst vehicle in the game, but no, it's actually really good. Like, obviously, the top speed isn't the best in the game because, you know, it's a tank, but everything else is surprisingly good. The acceleration is also pretty much instant, so, you know, it's pretty good. I don't really see why I shouldn't buy this thing. Obviously, this shouldn't really be your first $1 million purchase, but it's still really good nonetheless. So yeah, if I'm going to be completely honest here, if you have the money to get this and you like fighting a lot in public servers, then this is actually a really good purchase if you have another $1 million vehicle that you could use to grind for it. Next up here at the airport though, we got the jet, and you guys can see here this is our second vehicle that isn't actually in the dealership in the town. And well, the jet here is actually a really good vehicle. The top speed is about 212 miles per hour, and probably one of the best things about the jet here is it's able to lock onto aerial vehicles and even land vehicles. So if you guys ever used the rocket launcher before, you guys are probably aware that it's able to lock onto aerial vehicles and shoot them down, but they aren't actually able to lock onto land vehicles and boats. But see, now that's the good thing about the jet here. It's able to lock onto aerial vehicles and also land vehicles at the exact same time, which is very useful. You guys can see here, I'm able to shoot at helicopters just like normal, like the rocket launcher would be able to. But if I go ahead and make it so that it's in a land vehicle here, you guys can see that I'm actually able to lock onto land vehicles here and deal the same amount of damage to them as I would an aerial vehicle, which is extremely useful. It's so helpful. So for example, if you were chasing someone down in, I don't know, like a really fast vehicle that you weren't able to catch up with, you could just pull out your jet over here, lock onto them, and completely disable their vehicle using the missiles. And unlike the rocket launcher, with the jet here, you could lock onto pretty much any vehicle in the entire game, which, as I said, is incredibly helpful. One thing that kind of sucks about the jet missiles, though, is they are actually $1,000 for every heat-sinking missile, so it's kind of expensive, but at the same time, not really. You know, just based on how useful these missiles are, $1,000 isn't actually that much. And yeah, $1,000 for one whole heat-sinking missile that could pretty much disable any car in the game is kind of a steal, you know? And now, along with all of those cool other things that the jet has, there's actually a few other things as well. And that is that the jet actually has a passenger seat in the back. Now, if you guys aren't aware, a couple of years ago, the jet actually got a revamp and they added this extra seat here. So yeah, if you want to carry some friends with you in the jet, that is now possible. So yeah, really good addition to the game that was definitely needed before the jet revamp, which I'm not too sure why it took them that long, but you know, it's a thing now, so that's good. And if you guys are wondering how much health the jet has, it's actually not too bad. It has a whole 75 health, which is actually not too bad. So yeah, overall, the jet is really good for almost anything. You could grind with it, it's really useful for grinding, you could just play normally with it, and it's still really good. So yeah, if you have $1 million and you're looking for something like the jet, then it's definitely not a bad option. But now here we are with our final $1 million vehicle here, and I don't even think I'm gonna spend that much time with it. Yeah, it's the sloop. I don't think I need to explain too much why. I'm not gonna explain much about it. It's pretty self-explanatory. You guys can see it's literally just a boat. It goes 60 miles per hour at max. The acceleration is also kind of garbage, and I don't really know why this exists. And honestly, I think $1 million for a ship like this is kind of a little bit too much, if you know what I mean. I think it should be more like, I don't know, 50K, but like $1 million? Seriously? Yeah, I don't even know why I'm driving this around still. It takes way too long, and if you have the money to get this, stay away. Stay as far as you can away from this thing, because $1 million for that thing, yeah, it was the biggest waste of money I've ever done in my entire time playing Jailbreak. Do not buy the sloop at all costs. But yeah, with that, those are all of the $1 million vehicles inside of Roblox Jailbreak. If you haven't already, make sure to put all of your favorite $1 million vehicles down below in the comments. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get back to driving my sloop because that's like my favorite vehicle in the entire game, if you guys couldn't tell already. So yeah, with that, that's pretty much it for this video. Hopefully you've all enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. Damn, this thing can't even go over a ramp. Man, I take back what I said about this thing being my favorite vehicle. Damn, I hate this thing.